Hello and welcome back to Nurturing Your Roots. I'm Helen Aurelius and I'm guiding you through this reading. And yesterday we have had the information about you building something special. And I really want to know, and to start this reading with getting to know what exactly you are building. So that is the question I want to know, my dear cards. What is it exactly that you're building, or everything related to that building that is important to know right now? What is important that we know about this building phase of you? Is there something that is super important? Okay, so we start with this card. Council of Light, Divine Orchestrations. Yeah, help us in the subtle realms. Okay, you are not alone. You are connected to many forces, I feel. And I think there are many qualities. Normally, it's like related, this card is related to your ancestors or someone that passed away that was really near to you, maybe a friend or someone. But I feel like those, in this case, I'm getting, there are many different qualities that are playing a role, that are woven into your new project or whatever it is that you are trying to birth into this new light. And yeah, the qualities can be like that your intention while doing it is with love, and that it's also a peaceful way of doing something, like a peaceful way of parenting, a peaceful way of organizing your stuff. It can really be like daily life, right? Or a caretaking situation, a house for children, something that is really intentional, lovingly. Okay. Then we have forgiveness. Forgiveness is the gift I give myself. We do not forgive to be noble. We forgive because holding grievance keeps us imprisoned in the past. Every grievance says, I'm its victim, and forgiveness says, I choose peace instead. Wow, okay. So it's really related to letting something go. Forgiveness can be such a mighty word, maybe also heavy, and we have it not easy sometimes with forgiveness, but there's something to let go and something to release. And it's not about, you're not doing it because you want to shine brighter or be someone bigger or want to always talk about it and brag about it, right? It's because of yourself. It's lighter to build whatever it is. We may get to the point at some point, but it is so related either in guiding someone to learn forgiveness, or your practice is like counseling, and you help people that are in discussion or fighting with each other, have trouble in families related, trying to build the bridge into a new understanding even of each other. That could be. So forgiveness, and it's super much related to yourself. Yeah, that is so beautiful. I'm so curious now. And then we have Butterfly Garden. Wow. She's observing everything around, all the beautiful nature. I get like reconnecting with nature and reconnecting with the source and the essence of being alive, being in awe of the creation. Wow. Yeah, and yesterday we had also birthing this new world and creating your own little new world that is in the beginning little, but then keeps on growing, of course. And then we have also, play is sacred. Somewhere along the way, you forgot how to play. This is not a luxury, it is medicine. What did you love before you learned to be serious? Go back there, even for just 5 minutes. Oh, that's beautiful. Yeah, I get like somehow child-related topics here. That it's about being remembered, also forgive seriousness, and forgive like taking life as like too serious or too harsh on yourself, on others, and being reminded of playfulness and lightness in it all. But it can also be for some of you really taking care of children, building a house, maybe also like in your family even. Maybe it's not work related. It could also be to let your family grow and decide for another child and be really present for other children, taking care of them. Or remember adults to being like children again. Maybe you work with the inner child. Maybe you work with just remember them to play. Remember to be playful, and also creativity. We had the last times, oftentimes those creativity parts in your life. Yeah, I feel you are very creative and very much on the path of child friendliness in some way. That is so good that you are doing that, because it's such an important work, right? I just check in if I forgot something. Maybe I want to read actually that text. Maybe we get something else out of it that I missed the first time. So let's read it. Butterfly garden, curiosity, discovery, small moments in life. Oh, now I get, you know how children play at the beach with the sand, and when they are in a flow state. Yeah, that was what I meant. Oh yeah, it's related to a flow state. And that can be in so many ways, right? In hypnosis, but also in deep meditation or deep relaxation. Like, wow, yeah, I feel there's another, some of you are actually not so much child related as I described it until now, but more into, it could also be like ecstatic dance or some state of flow in any kind. Yeah, take as it resonates, but that is what I get. And I knew there was something that I'm missing. But okay, the text starts just now. A woman holds a blooming flower in her hand. As she gazes toward the sky. On her head sits a butterfly, closely examining the purple petals. Enjoying the situation, the woman stands still and quietly soaks in her surroundings. She does not want to disturb the scene. In our daily life, there are so many possible moments that could be precious if we would just take time to notice them. Be mindful of your surroundings and pay attention. Ask, why is that there? Then make connections. Small observations can lead to great discoveries. Wow, it's mindfulness and flow that I was missing. Thank you. Okay, that is really important. So beautiful. I want to be your client, actually. I want to see how you do it, how you build it. Maybe we can step in and ask how will it be built? Oh, now it's not clear to me, so I will continue to ask. How will it be built? Okay. We have creating heaven on earth. It's happening. Okay, maybe it's telling me between the lines. You actually don't know how exactly, but it's happening. Okay, you are doing it. Okay, I'm trusting you. What is important for my dear soul family to know? It came just this hopping out. Oh, sunny day. Interesting. What is important to know was my question. And the answer is new beginnings. Yes, of course. I'm not joking. It's just there. New beginnings. Okay, your cards are really on point. Luck, optimism. A woman with a dainty umbrella sits on a red mushroom and watches the sun rise over the horizon. How nice it is to welcome a new day, especially with 3 little talismans of good luck. The ladybug. Embrace new beginnings. Let us forget yesterday's worries and regrets. Don't allow the past to linger into today. All the moments in this day are brand new, never seen before or since. You have the power to make good things happen. You can make today your lucky day. Wow, it feels like a little bit a cut feeling of, okay, everything that was is now over. Let's concentrate with optimism, luck, the ladybugs, and new perspective. We had that yesterday in the reading before. On this project that needs all your intention. And yeah, channel all your luck, all that you can put in as positive thoughts and feelings. I get like, you know that picture if you throw a stone into a lake and then it gets those ripple effects, but backwards. I feel like the waves are concentrating and immersing and creating tension, even like all the optimism, all the waves of your good feelings about it, and your like you can see the future already. You have this envisioned and you have it in your third eye, like as your little movie in your brain, but it's going backward. It's concentrating. All the waves are creating a momentum. You are riding the waves, but it's an inward movement, I feel, and it's all coming to the center. The center is you, of course, and maybe it creates such a tension that it gets an explosion, and that is kind of how you do it. It's just a movie in my mind, but sometimes I get the information like that. Okay, so be remembered of your optimism, your positivity, of course, not toxic positivity, not if you just don't feel like it, just if you need something else. If there's any other feeling, you know how to do the shadow work. You know how to alchemize the stones, the heavy stones. Can you remember the reading before? We had that already. I know that you can do that. I know you, and I'm trusting you. And this is also important. Of course, I just wanted to mention not toxic positivity, but as positive as your body can feel, as positive as your cells can vibrance in positivity. You know that is a state of being maybe a long time ago that you have experienced. You know it, you can remember it, I know it. Maybe it's not easy, and maybe you need time to actually give your body time to feel that finally again. Yeah, I don't know what I asked, but this card wants to say something to me. Okay. What are you clinging onto? The grumbling. Wow, okay. Yeah, there's an openness. It's now happening, right? All that was heavy before and the functional freeze and so on. If you don't know what I'm talking about, please look up the other videos, because I really feel now that it's building up. It's a whole story. Maybe it does make sense to just check in with this information today. But yes, of course. Yeah, of course it makes sense. But it makes even more sense if you hear the other messages and look if it's fitting for you. But there's something you are clinging onto. It's already making space, but there's something that is important to know about. Okay, what is it? Now we are sneaky. We want to know, what is it exactly that you are clinging onto? The wound of not being seen. You learned early to make yourself small, not to take up space. This card invites you to ask, where am I still hiding? Your visibility is not a burden, it's a gift. You are anxious of being visible. That is what you're clinging onto. Thank you, cards. That is such a clear message. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Wow, and that is also rooted early in life, to make yourself small, to not take up all the space. I'm sorry to hear that you experienced that. But it makes so much sense, right? If we are building such a beautiful, optimistical, very vibrant dream, and we are building a new world, and we're creating a home, we're creating a environment that reminds adults to be in the flow, to be like a little bit like like free of worries, free of doubt, sure in ourselves, and really present in the moment. Of course, we need safety first, right? We need like security or safety, just to feel there's no threat. We are not in a flight and not in a fight situation, not in a freeze situation either. It's quite the opposite. So it's also important for you to create this new world in a state of flow. Wow, I get this image in my head of a mirror. You want that so much for your clients, for the people coming in touch with you, getting to know your work. And this is the goal in the end. And it is like a pendulum going back and forth between you and the client, because you know that you also need that kind of flow and need that kind of weariness and light feeling in your feet, and almost like dancing and a flow feeling of it all. So you are very, I think you are aware of that there's something a little bit that needs remembering, not to cling on to. I'm not sure if it was clear for you that it's the wound of not being seen by your parents. So that is really important to now transform for you. Okay, I want to ask if I can help with that, if there's any guidance on that is now needed. Wow, celebrate your human design. How you make decisions, where you find energy and where it drains, which environments are poison for you, which are home, how others experience your aura, and what you are here to do, what is not yours, and why you are not made for everything equally. I don't know if you know about this human design, but if you don't know, you need now to dive in. Wow, okay, that is the message. Of course, yes. Human design is like astrology, but just a little bit deeper and with more detail. And it's like helping you understand yourself, your energy flow, it's speaking about gates and about the stars and the planets and so on. It's very detailed. And you can get also on my website a free human design chart. Do we say it like that? Yeah, it's like a text that you get out of it, what it means for you. And I get also this message that you know already about it, and that you're like rolling your eyes. At some points you have already, you know now what kind of profile you have, and you know your gates and your stars and the houses and what else all is important relating to that. But then you need to look in again, because you are missing something. Something is in your human design that is needed to understand what you exactly need for a flow state. And what it's also, human design is also speaking about, you can see it just as a philosophy, so to say, or like star signs that you can get informations out of you. Of course, everyone is super, like the biography of everyone is super individual. So at some point, it's also it's you could get this feeling that it's super generated, or no, that it's like a message in general for people, like that you fit into one box kind of. But as you go deeper and understand more details of your human design, it makes more sense. And that is important, that you again dive in to your human design and read more about what it means to be you, to say it like quick. But I get also, there was something in the text, which environments are good for you and which are not, which are home. And I think while creating your new world, it could really be beneficial and helpful to dive in and get to know that there are, in the human design, there are also places that you should be in. Like for some of us, it's important to be on a mountain, to have, and that is like, I just say that and I get you the whole explanation, because it's not actually a mountain itself. It is just meant to, your human designs need to have a big overview, for example. So it could also be that you create in your office something that is remembering you of being on a mountain, or sitting next to a window where you can look outside and just have this feeling of being free, being on top of the world, kind of over the noise. We had yesterday also, maybe I find this card again, if you remember that. I feel that is you, actually. I feel it has, this is the reason why I get this image and why I tell you about, where is it? The human design. And the environment is so important, because also we had this image, right? It was reading before. We talked about being on top or over all the noise and balancing out what is important, the next step, kind of. And that is related also to the place where you are. We spoke also about perspectives and so on. So it's the environment itself. I bet you then also enjoy to go hiking, go on a mountain, be on top of the hill, kind of. But you could also be, for others of you, I bet there's another human design description for your individual human design that makes sense for you in that case of your environment, even if it's a cave, for example. But you need to dive in. I make it short. You need to have a second look or a first look in your human design in order to get informations about how to build it in a good way and in a flow state. And that is related also to your childhood and to nurturing your roots, where you are coming from, because that is kind of the base that we are building on top. Everything that we build in our real life, in our adult life, is also an outcome of our blueprint, how our root system was developed. Speaking in pictures, of course, but how our childhood was, the patterns that we learned about relationships. It creates patterns that are recreated in adult life with our clients, even if we think, oh, it's so different. Of course, we are different when we are speaking to our parents, when we are big sister, little sister, aunt, or in different roles of our family. Of course, it's different, but still the feeling of, for example, being frozen, or the feeling of getting attacked, or the feeling of getting critics, it is all related to our very early experiences of being in a relationship. And that is super important to know also, because your human design is, to bring that back, this is how you were born. And that means that your whole childhood long, it would be beneficial. I get another message. It would be beneficial if your parents would have known about your human design, but of course, I think none of our, like, I'm just guessing, boomer parents, but it could also be different for you, depending on when you are born exactly and how old you are now. But in our generation, of course, I think no one knew about this human design, and no one knew what would be like important for you. How to make decisions is different for you than for others. It was kind of everything gets the same education, everyone gets to the same in the village, the kindergarten and whatnot. And everything is the same important for every child, and not so much individual knowledge about what is good also in general for development, for example. So it's no wonder you have this wound of not being seen as your unique human that you are. So that is why I get this information on top of it. And another thing that I got was, if you have children, it's super important that you also check the human design for your children, because it can also be that you pass on some wounds that you yourself experienced onto the next generation. So to be aware of being a cycle breaker, if you experienced it yourself, is super important. Yeah, so that was the message, and maybe we get some guidance. What else is important to know for this building phase? Red garden. Looks sensational. I feel a little bit. I want to read it, what it means exactly. Gratitude, pleasure, happiness. On this card we see a woman strolling through a garden full of flowers. The sky glows with pink petals and the ground has turned a luminescent blue. The woman finds great peace in being one with nature. The flowers have become part of her body, and a parrot feels at home on her shoulder. During her walk down the path of life, she keeps happiness and gratitude into her heart. She notices the simple pleasure of life and is thankful for all nature has given her. So beautiful. Being reconnected with nature and even working with nature. Maybe that is the third part of what you are building. You are meeting people in nature, maybe a kindergarten, and forest kindergarten, or like a house for children but with many, like a big area around, or like a playful being in a flow state, bathing in the forest for adults. I had also this feeling, right, with the being in the sand, being tactile, being in the environment, being part of it. Yeah. That is a big helper also for you, like a resource that you can take advantage of while building this new area, this new life, to get yourself into nature, go bare feet, go into the ocean, pluck or being awe of the flowers, the beautiful ones, and smell all the flowers and go really like into it, not just in nature, but become one with nature in your kind of way. I think you know what I mean. You know yourself and you know what you like and love about being one with nature. And then enjoy this beautiful path, even if there are decisions that you don't know yet. It's a how to say this? I get thankfulness for not knowing yet, because it will become clear, and it's such a wonder in being in this in-between. And this will be the bridge for your in-between. Thank you so much for this reading. Thank you for your attention. I'm glad you are here when we meet again. And until now, I wish you all the best for your beautiful process. Bye!